Welcome to Specific Love. Here's an inexpensive way to build a sawmill so that you can turn some firewood into some awesome lumber. Let's begin. Now, if you've ever priced out a sawmill, you realize they are quite expensive. So I did a bunch of research and I found out you can take an old circular saw and attach an awesome chainsaw blade to it. Now, I reached out to the company Prezi and they generously sent me one of their beam cutters to try out this project. So let's put this together. Now, this setup comes with a nice little instruction manual. Make sure you use that when putting this together. Now that I have the blade off, I found this blade guard keeps getting in the way, so I've strapped it fully open over here with some cable ties or zip ties before we put this in. Now, you'll also notice on the back of the saw, this is moving back and forth. That's to be able to attach to different types of saws. So I'll loosen it up and we're gonna slide it right in. Let's make sure it gets into the correct slot. And it should fit right in place, right there. Now we're just gonna tighten everything down. It should be ready to go. All right, we have it all installed. Let's see what this thing's gonna look like. Oh, it's gonna be fun. Now, to get an idea of how effective this saw is, I'm clamped down a 2x4 to my bench here, and we're just gonna see what it does. Well, it's not the cleanest of cuts. There's quite a bit of burrs here, but it went through it like butter. This should be fun. Now that we have the saw ready, we need to construct the mill. But first off, I need to put together the guide for the saw to slide on so it doesn't move around. And then secondly, we'll build the frame so that the logs can sit on. Now, to build this guide, I'm using an old piece of 1/2-inch plywood. I think it's pine, but I'm not sure. And it really doesn't matter as long as it's sturdy, and this is. Now, I want to be able to cut at least 4-foot long logs. So I'm going to build this 6 feet wide, and that is just because you're going to have a lot of dead space on each end. One area for clamping, another area so you can put the saw in and take it out without actually contacting the log. So we're going to go for 6 foot and go for there. One other measurement we need to take in consideration is the width of the base here. In my case, it is 5 inches, and I'd like to have a 1-inch bracing on each side. So I need a 7-inch wide board. In the process of cutting out this board, I cut out 3 smaller pieces. Each of these are 1 inch wide, and these will act as guides as I put them on the sides for the saw. But before I can attach those, I gotta cut a slot that runs nearly the length of this board. And that'll be so that the blade can fit in here and not come in contact with this piece as we're doing the cutting. Now with the slot cut out, we can start attaching the guides. Now once we have the bottom in place, we need to get the top ready, but then we also need to take the saw and measure it in place just to make sure that we're not making it too tight or too loose. You want just a little bit of room, but not much. Once we get in position, then we can nail it and screw it together. Then we're going to tap some holes and add some 1 1/4 screws. Now that the guide is complete, I'm going to set this to the side and let this fully dry. We're going to build the rest of the frame out of 2x4s. Now I'm first going to cut down the front and the back of the frame, and I'm going to cut these to 6 feet long. Now, once you get those 6-foot boards cut, you're gonna have 2 24-inch long pieces left. Make sure you set these to the side because we're gonna use them later. Now we want to take a third board and cut 7 12-inch long pieces. Next up is cutting out some of the small legs. Now I'm definitely going to use that last piece I had left over. It's probably 10.5 to 11 inches from that last board. And I'm going to use some other scrap wood. So if you have any other scrap 2x4s, grab them real quick. We need a total of 4 at 7.5 inches and 1 at 6.5. Now we're going to start assembling the front of the frame first. We're going to take the 12-inch pieces that we cut earlier, have 1 at each end, and then 1 at each foot mark. Then we're going to secure everything with some 2.5-inch screws. I'm going to try to keep the board from moving around while we screw it in. I just added a basic clamp on there. And now we're gonna add the back piece of the frame, but I'm actually gonna offset it by 1 inch. And that way it'll help the guide plate when it's actually cutting. It'll make a little more sense later when you see it. Now I'm just gonna use some of the scraps left over from the plywood when I cut it. I'm gonna double these up and that should give me exactly 1 inch. Now that the main section of the frame is done, I'm going to flip it so that the top is gonna be facing down. That way when I add the legs, it should be nice and flush with the top of the frame. Now the front legs are going to be these 7.5 inch pieces that we cut earlier. We're going to have one right in the center and one on each end. Now we have one more small leg to attach. That's that 6.5 inch board. We're going to attach it on the back side here, but we want to make sure it's flush with this raised, or in this case lowered, board that we did earlier. Now we're going to go back to those 24 inch boards that we set aside earlier. These are going to be the back corner legs. Now remember, the front legs we have 4 inches below the frame, but since the back piece of the frame has been lowered 1 inch, these will only stick below 3 inches. Now this frame is nearly complete and should be able to handle about any log thrown on it. But there is one weak point, and those are these back legs. And the reason why is as the slide gets put here, it's going to have pressure back and forth as you do the cutting. So we need to take one more additional piece and support it at an angle. It doesn't have to be any particular size or length, as long as you can get relatively high up on the leg and reach down towards the other leg and secure it in place. Now I've set this on the floor to give this a little test fit, and you'll notice that it is definitely not sitting on all 6 legs. In fact, it's primarily sitting just on the center 2. Part of that is my floor is definitely not even, and there's little waves and hills you can see in it just in general. But also I can go back and adjust these later, so no big deal. So let's test fit this. Might be a tight fit. No, perfect. So there we go, it has enough room, should be able to slide up and down. It is a really tight fit between the boards on the end, but that's good because that way it shouldn't get away from me. Hey, let's take this outside and cut some wood. Now first thing I noticed is this log moves around a lot, and I need to secure that in place before I cut it. So I took another piece of 2x4 and I've drilled 4 holes. 2 smaller ones and 2 larger ones, because I'm going to secure this board here to this cross brace. And then I'm going to take the log and butt it right up against it. Then I'm going to take some additional screws and go through these larger holes to secure into the bottom of this log, and that should keep it from moving around very much. That should keep it secure. Now to hold the guide in place, I'm just using a basic clamp. And I'm marking the inches over here just so I know roughly how high I'm going. Now I'm starting off with a log that's only about 6 inches in diameter, so this should be a relatively easy cut. Now notice this guide wants to jump around a lot, so I've added a second clamp at the bottom. And a moment of truth. Wow, it is a pretty straight cut, a little bit of ridges here and there, but I mean, you'd go to expect that with a chainsaw. But let's try and do another one. It's still wanting to bounce around back and forth here, so definitely I'll have to work on that, but overall, I think it's gonna work well. Now I'm going to unscrew this, and then we're going to flip this log over to see if it'll be an even nicer cut since it won't move around as much. Well, it still has a really rough cut and it bounces around, so I guess that's just an inherent trait of everything. But so far it looks like I have a decent log here. I'm going to try and cut these off along here and see what I can salvage. Now there's an inexpensive way to turn what would be firewood into some awesome lumber. And this process sure does make a mess. Alright, here's some final thoughts on this setup. It did work great for what it is. Now we are limited because of the length of this saw. It's only supposed to be 12 inches. Probably with all the other pieces you add onto it, you might only be able to cut an 11 inch diameter type log. So if you're looking at anything for bigger than that, you're just probably not going to be able to do it unless you try to do some acrobatic work moving the wood around. which I'm definitely not gonna do. Now, overall, the wood is a little rough, but that is to be expected. We're talking about a chainsaw, and it's not 100% straight, but then again, we're talking about that sliding plate that was moving around a bunch. In fact, I'm probably gonna put maybe a piece of I don't know, metal or something across the top of it to minimize some of that vibration. But overall, I was happy with this. So I really hope you get a chance to build one of these so you can cut some of your own lumber and not have to pay so much at the lumber yard. So get out in your shop and have fun building. Oh, now to it. Okay, let's try it again without messing that up. Height tolerances. Yeah. All right, 1 inch wide and 1 inch to it though. And these, let's try it again. Fit in and not come in contact. Might help if I plug it in. And not the, wow, I cannot talk today. Words are definitely hard.